Hello and welcome to NAFDAC and your wealth. My name is Tosin Omolaja, and here's where we bring you up to date with NAFDAC's activities with regards to its mandate of safeguarding the health of the nation. Thanks for joining us for another insightful edition of the program. On this edition of the program, NAFDAC's Investigation and Enforcement Directorate mops up unwholesome food products from markets in Lagos. Following petitions and complaints both from the public and manufacturers of products such as cornflakes, milks, and chocolate beverage products, the agency visited the BBA markets at Trade Fair, Lagos, and found dealers in this unwholesome act, some of them right in the act of repackaging the products.
When you have these things in this manner, and you're having this food product in this manner, this is not the way it comes with the company, from the company. And it is not supposed to have been rebacked this way. The agency frowns at this because definitely there has been contamination of the product. So this is not acceptable, not in any way by the agency. You see this? All of these things suspected to have been adulterated. Cocoa Pops, cornflakes, Indomie, they've not come in the original company packs. And this is what they are giving the public.
The strength of a regulatory agency also lies in the enforcement. In fact, if there is no enforcement, there will not be a regulatory agency, because a regulatory agency is supposed to enforce or to control, of course, the regulatory activities, and to enforce, to ensure that people do not violate the regulations. Therefore, enforcement is extremely important in NAFDAC, but it is not just as part of our regular activities. The Federal Task Force C-34 law is domiciled in NAFDAC. The headquarters of the Federal Task Force is in NAFDAC. And it is supposed to, the Federal Task Force is supposed to control, to ensure there are no fake medicines in the country, no unwholesome foods in the country. And with that Federal Task Force headquarters in Lagos, you have 36 state task forces. So enforcement is so important for NAFDAC as a regulatory agency, but in terms of food, drugs, chemicals, and all the things, that it is extremely important for the country. That is part of the reason why it was domiciled. It has been domiciled in NAFDAC.
NAFDAC's mandate for safeguarding the health of the nation requires that the agency ensure that Nigerians are consuming safe food, drugs, and other regulated products. Therefore, when food products like cornflakes and other products are being adulterated and repackaged in unsafe, unhygienic situations, exposed to the atmosphere, they become unsafe for consumption and may become sources of illness, and in cases where there is poisoning, it may result in fatalities. And so, the agency takes its responsibility of safeguarding the health of the nation very seriously.
There has been complaints from the company manufacturer of some of this product, like Nestle Nigeria PLC, where the complaints of the public display of their products in packs that it is not actually being registered in or being retailed in everywhere around the streets and also in the public space. And some of these products also has experienced contamination. The agency actually frowns at all of this and is trying to identify certain syndicates who are possibly adulterating these products and also possibly importing the counterfeit of these products into the country and selling them, emptying such packs into larger boxes and selling to the public. When this is done, contaminations happen, and it is not good for public health. The agency actually frowns at this, and the manufacturer of these products are not in the picture of this. It is not supposed to work out that way. So the very reason the agency has been trying to call the attention of these people to stop all of these activities, but since they won't, NAFDAC has taken a step to stop all of these unwholesome activities. All these nefarious activities definitely has to be stopped.
What's this now? Come on, show me. What is this? This is oats. Oats from where? Bring this one out. Oats. How can oats be here? From which company? What is the name of the oats? Bring it out. Bring it out. Which type of oats is this one?
This is small seed.
Small seed.
Yeah.
What is the name? Where is the name written?
The name is not written.
The name is not written on the body.
Yes.
And how do you know that it's oats?
Because you have others like it, like.
So how do you get it? How do you get it? How do you get this one?
Like. You
Where
buy it.
will you buy it? Your mother. Okay. This one.
It's cornflakes.
Cornflakes.
As that one just picked up now.
Okay. So, but it's not labeled. From
It's
which?
not labeled because you pour it inside it.
You pour which one inside?
As you are seeing it now, as it is in the carton.
Yes.
So we do pour it here to sell.
Okay. From where is the carton that you pour it out?
You have thrown it away.
Okay.
Because you can't just keep it. As you have seen this one, just that you remove it, that's why it's still there.
Okay.
Now what I'm checking for now to see what they have sold out. For how long have they sold some products here? And to really know, sorry, okay, just to confirm if it's really their invoice, but it is. But they are making use of it because I can see Table One Plaza already on it.
You have a nylon whereby this oat you package it inside.
No, we don't package it inside. Have you seen any that is being packaged on it?
Okay, what this nylon meant for?
It's meant if you want to buy something, you can put it for you.
But it's written oat flour, 100% whole grain. So what do you do with it?
You do it too. I've answered you that you put it something and give it to her. As you are seeing this one now, as this tea is now, if you want to say quarter of it, you can put it here and carry it for you.
But this one I'm seeing, they've already written oat on the body, and there are many.
But
See
there's
them.
no.
See them, there are many. There must be for purpose of packaging of the oat itself. That is the purpose, because you cannot write oat and put sugar inside. When you have the one that you don't need to write anything inside. The essence is for you to package the oat.
We'll take a short break now. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you are just joining in, you're watching NAFDAC and your health. In one of the shops, it was found out that many of the products had already expired, and by repacking the products in a labeled bag, the consumer is not able to tell the validity of the products.
So
the man from 007,
he want to pack it, there's no space for his side.
No space. He now brought it to your place.
Yeah.
So where is your own goods?
That's what I said. See where this is. I don't have goods here now.
Okay.
So he approached me to.
So
So
we
I
will
don't have
confirm
space.
that from the man that is inside your vehicle. We will bring him to confirm that.
So no problem.
Open your own. Open your own.
You only assisted.
No problem. We will.
Community. That is how you assist.
In the community.
I don't do this, not my business. I don't do business.
You have said it several times, sir. Just be calm down.
See my book.
This one is 2806 2021.
So it's nothing like.
So we are 7 now. This one is expired. Excuse me. No.
I promise. I don't have any business with God.
Okay.
Expired. My assistant might be the problem I had. So all the people where this plaza know that maybe I don't do with this type of.
Some will call the man, call me 35.
Don't worry,
There's
Oga, don't worry.
the second when I want to call the my sister, I should go.
This one too is expired.
Last year.
So,
Last year.
no, last month. Oga, please give us more this thing, please. In time of, you understand, decorum, please. Best before 2806 2021. That's last month. So You cannot actually, okay. Based on this one too is, okay, this one from the,
Yeah. It's only the mic I play explain to you.
don't worry yourself, don't worry.
So not my own just.
You are neat. That's why you are here. Okay, they are bound. We just write Kalos, this one Kalos, and yes, this Maxi.
In this particular store, owned by a man who claimed to only be helping a friend keep the merchandise, the agency found bags of oats taken over by insects.
So to confirm that he's the one that kept his roots with this one. This one is really connected. That is the thing. According
People may not understand what NAFDAC is in terms of enforcement, but we are also policemen looking out for violators to ensure there will be deterrent, they will not repeat whatever they did before. We have about 75, almost 80 policemen attached to NAFDAC because of this federal task force that is domiciled in NAFDAC. And the enforcement can be as simple as somebody resisting NAFDAC to enter their property, and then enforcement will come in with police to ensure that whatever NAFDAC wanted to see, NAFDAC sees. Or they can find themselves in a situation where they are keeping vigil at the ports, at the border, for days on end, through intelligence, when they've been briefed that there is contraband or violated products coming through a particular route. It can be to that point. It can be a raid where they have to go to the market or to a particular site where falsified medicines are being made or sold or whatever, or unwholesome food. It can be sealing a company, paying unannounced visit to a company. Let's say that there is an issue of bad distribution of medicine coming from a particular company, like the codeine that happened, the codeine issue that came up May of 2018. Enforcement had to go unannounced to do inspection with Drug Evaluation and Research Directorate, because they are the inspectorate, arm for drugs. So it is an activity that takes place almost every minute, depending on where the information is coming from.
So we have here already emptied packages that has already been drained. So they are retail packs. If such products are opened, then definitely the shelf life starts counting. But we find a situation whereby these products have already been emptied, exposed to the air, and then contamination has set in. This is not good for public health. It is not good for consumption. And that is the reason why we have to do this mop-up. And for every outlet where they are having the bulk packaging for these products, and they are also set at carrying out such activity, we are trying to do a mop-up of it and then to run an investigation to know the reasons behind their actions.
If products are deemed to have been violated, either they are unregistered or they are expired and are being sold, things like that, NAFDAC has the power to seize, to seal the site. NAFDAC has the power to arrest if there is resistance or to prosecute, you know. And those products that are seized are stored until a time when we can then go and destroy them. And that happens maybe 3 or 4 times a year because we want to be because we have to pay for the destruction too, you know. So we accumulate and then, you know, destroy. We've just finished doing northeast, northwest, south, and southeast together of accumulated seized products worth billions of naira. This is extremely important because if these products are not seized and destroyed, they're going to be in the circulation, of course. Since
Professor Adeyeye took over leadership of NAFDAC, the agency has put in place a world-class warehousing system.
As part of our regulatory system strengthening, it's also one of the things that the auditors are looking for. Okay, you seize products. Let us look at your warehouse. Do you know how much is coming in and going out for destruction? Do you have a systematic way of keeping the inventory? Bear in mind that some of the products that we seize may be going through prosecution, or the owners or whatever may be going through prosecution. So we have to keep them in such a way that we can retrieve them. We have to keep them in a way that we keep the quality of the system. We cannot just put it in anywhere, in any storage place where the temperature is so high and it breaks down. And then when it comes to the court, they will say, okay, let's go and test it. And it's no longer the way it's supposed to, you know, the quality has decreased. So it is a lot of dynamics, a lot of thoughtfulness that have to be put in it, or science rather, that has to be put in it.
NAFDAC appeals to the public not to patronize or consume this kind of products because they are dangerous to health. Although the dangers may not occur immediately, they accumulate in the body and can have long-term effects on the consumer. Time now for NAFDAC updates.
NAFDAC approves new COVID-19 vaccine for the Nigerian public. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has given another set of vaccines emergency use authorization, which opens the door for Nigeria to receive more vaccines under the COVAX initiative. The Director General of the agency, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, made the announcement in Abuja.
NAFDAC is announcing the approval of Moderna and AstraZeneca vaccines and the approval of Sputnik V vaccine. The NAFDAC Vaccine Committee has been carefully assessing vaccines despite the fact that the vaccines have been approved by stringent regulatory countries or have received WHO's emergency use listing. A COVID-19 vaccine that has gone through prior approval from either of these two sources had gone through quality, safety, and efficacy evaluation, which is a prerequisite for acceptance by COVAX facility. More regulatory agencies across the world use this mechanism to expedite their own regulatory approval, either to import and administer COVID-19 vaccines. NAFDAC spends at least 15 days to thoroughly examine the dossier or the submission package of each vaccine to ensure that the benefits of the vaccine far outweigh the risks and any side effects are well noted for monitoring after vaccination by respective NAFDAC and primary health officers. The emergency use listing will allow Nigeria to receive supplies of the vaccine from the COVAX facility. COVAX facility is the agglomeration or vaccine pillar for accessing COVID-19 vaccines, and it is made up by Gavi, which is Global Alliance for Vaccine and Immunization, by Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, CEPI, and by WHO. Its aim is to accelerate the development and manufacture of COVID-19 vaccines and to guarantee fair and equitable access to low-middle income countries, of which Nigeria is one. NAFDAC also gives full reviews aside from the expedited, the 15 days. Gives full reviews for vaccines that have not gone through the EUL route, meaning WHO route. This mechanism is explained in our guidance that was developed by the COVID-19 Vaccine Committee. NAFDAC is the first national regulatory agency in Africa to have this guidance on regulatory preparedness for emergency use authorization. For emergency use authorization, licensing, or access to the vaccines, and we have a link on our website.
That's it on NAFDAC Update. You've been updated.
That's our package for today. Please join us again, same time, same station, next week for a fresh edition. In the meantime, if you have comments, complaints, or you want to report activities of fake drugs or adulterated food product peddlers in your area, our doors are always open. You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email, reforms@nafdac.gov.ng, or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded. COVID-19 is real. Please ensure you and your family follow safety measures as outlined by the NCDC. Stay away from crowded places as much as possible, and if you must be out there, please wear a face mask. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water, and ensure you use only NAFDAC-approved alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Taking the NAFDAC-approved COVID-19 vaccine is safe. It's our best bet of stamping out the deadly coronavirus. And don't forget to download the MedSafety app from iOS or Play Store to report any adverse reaction from the vaccine or any other medicine at all. See you next week. Stay safe.